What is coolant's role in truck engine temperature regulation? Imagine a busy highway with trucks moving in all directions. Now picture the engine inside one of those trucks as a busy worker generating a lot of heat. Without a way to cool down, that worker would overheat and break down. That's where coolant comes into play. Coolant, also called antifreeze, is the fluid that keeps the engine from getting too hot or too cold. It's the key part of the cooling system that makes sure the engine runs smoothly and doesn't overheat on long hauls or in hot weather. Coolant flows through passages inside the engine block, where it absorbs heat from the hot metal parts. As the engine runs, the coolant heats up and then travels through the upper radiator hose toward the radiator. The radiator is like a big heat sink with thin metal fins and narrow pipes. When hot coolant passes through the radiator, the fins help transfer heat away from the fluid. Air flowing through the radiator fins carries that heat out into the atmosphere, cooling the coolant down. This process is especially important for trucks working in hot climates or pulling heavy loads, where engines generate a lot of heat. The water pump is what keeps the coolant moving through the entire system. It's driven by a belt connected to the engine's crankshaft. The pump pushes coolant through the engine, then to the radiator, and back again in a continuous loop. If the water pump stops working, the coolant stops circulating, and the engine can quickly overheat. That's why maintaining the water pump is so important for truck health. The thermostat is a small but vital part of the cooling system. It contains a wax pellet that melts at a specific temperature. When you start a cold truck, the thermostat stays closed, preventing coolant from flowing to the radiator. This helps the engine warm up quickly. Once the engine reaches its ideal temperature, the wax melts and opens a valve, allowing coolant to flow to the radiator for cooling. When the engine cools down, the wax solidifies and closes the valve again. This on and off cycle keeps the engine at just the right temperature for optimal performance. Monitoring the coolant temperature is the engine coolant temperature sensor's job. It sends real-time data to the truck's computer system. The computer uses this info to control the cooling fan, adjust fuel mixture, and spark timing. If the sensor fails or gives wrong readings, the cooling fan might not turn on when needed, leading to overheating. For long-distance truck drivers, a faulty sensor can cause breakdowns from help. Heavy-duty trucks often run at high temperatures for long stretches. The cooling system must handle this stress without losing efficiency. Using the right type of coolant and maintaining proper concentration prevents freezing in winter or boiling in summer. Both can cause serious engine damage. Regularly checking coolant levels and replacing old coolant according to the manufacturer's schedule keeps the system working well. Flushing the system removes rust and debris that can clog passages or cause corrosion inside the engine and radiator. The cooling fan also plays a role in temperature regulation. It pulls air through the radiator to help cool the coolant faster. Many trucks have electric fans controlled by the computer. When the truck is idling or moving slowly, the fan works harder. When the truck is moving at highway speeds, natural airflow often reduces the need for the fan to run constantly, saving fuel. Keeping the cooling system in good shape is a simple but effective way to prevent breakdowns. Regular coolant checks, timely flushes, and replacing worn parts like the thermostat or water pump can make a big difference. When the cooling system functions properly, the engine stays at the right temperature, which means better fuel efficiency, longer engine life, and fewer roadside surprises. So, understanding how coolant works and taking care of it is a smart move for any truck operator or maintenance team.